Jeopardy! Star Ken Jennings has spoken out after being slammed for continuing to host the show amid the WGA writers' strikes. He told the Deseret News, "Our last week of shows was already locked. We could be above board and just shoot the last week of scripts that had already been written." Ken went on, "You would not believe the work our amazing writers do, and they're Emmy Award winning. We cannot wait for the strike to be resolved so we can get our writers back. We're just hoping the writers get the fair deal they deserve, and we can get back in time to the fall." The Writers Guild of America announced on May 1st that it was going on strike after weeks of talks with Netflix, Amazon, Sony, Jeopardy's parent company, and more fell through. Picket lines assembled the following day as writers protested over their contracts and pay. Ken's co-host mayim Bialik bowed out of hosting the last week of Jeopardy's current season, as reported by Deadline, and Ken stepped back in as a result. The Big Bang Theory alum is standing in solidarity with the writers on strike during the episodes that were shot from May 16 to May 19, which aired generally 2 months after they are taped. Jeopardy's decade-long writers are striking too, and even thanked mayim for her solidarity on Twitter. Writer Mark Gaberman wrote, "At Miss Mayim, this means more to us than we could ever say. Thank you so much. #WGA Strong." Longtime writers Billy Wiss and Michelle Loud, striking as well, also recently told Variety, "Our words are on the screen every night. There is no Jeopardy without writers. Without us it's just an empty blue screen." Billy Wiss said he wants to be fairly compensated for the labor you give. "They're asking some people to work day-to-day, another Jeopardy." Writers said supporting those going through mini-room experiences of even smaller writing staffs on streaming platform shows. "They never tried to make it a gig economy before," Billy Wiss said. "There was always some sense that writers were partners in it." Jeopardy! Features a small staff of WGA writers, and the clues were theoretically also written well in advance of the strike. Ken was supposed to be off the board until the next season begins in September and has been criticized on social media for returning to the set as a result. Ken gets called a scab by celeb. Will Wheaton is an actor who competed on Celebrity Jeopardy! Earlier this year, placing in the finals against winner Ike Barinholtz and Patton Oswalt, he called out Ken directly on Twitter. He has the choice to support his fellow workers, or to support management who are exploiting them. He's made his choice. It's like this: did you cross a picket line? If yes, you are a scab who turned your back on organized labor. If no, you're a decent person who stands with your fellow workers, the 50-year-old wrote. One fan recently tweeted mayim is also a WGA member, whereas Ken is not. Alex also hosted during the 2007-8 strike, because the questions had already been written, same situation. Mayim, 47, co-hosts the Monday to Friday show with Ken switching off in blocks after Alex Trebek's passing. In the glitzy world of television, few shows hold as much prestige as Jeopardy, a program that has captivated audiences for decades with its unique blend of intellect and entertainment. As the iconic game show enters a new era, controversy has arisen regarding some of the recent decisions made by its hosting team, particularly following the departure of beloved host Alex Trebek. Ken Jennings, one of the show's most celebrated champions and now a co-host, found himself in the crosshairs of fan backlash over a controversial move that has left many viewers feeling unsettled. The uproar began when Jennings and co-host mayim Bialik announced a new format for the upcoming season, which included significant changes to the tournament structure and the introduction of new game elements. While change is often met with resistance, the passionate responses from die-hard Jeopardy fans were particularly intense. Some felt the alterations undermined the show's core essence, while others questioned the timing and rationale behind these decisions. In a candid interview addressing the backlash, Jennings acknowledged the concerns but stood firm in his belief that the changes were necessary. "I completely understand where the fans are coming from," he stated earnestly. Jeopardy is a beloved institution, and its audience is fiercely loyal. But I want to assure everyone that these decisions were made with a lot of thought. The shows were already locked in, and we had to move forward with the plans. Jennings elaborated on the reasoning behind the format changes, citing the need to attract a younger demographic to ensure the show's longevity. "We're not trying to alienate our core audience," he explained. "Instead, we're aiming to introduce fresh elements that will appeal to new viewers while still honoring the traditions that make Jeopardy what it is." Among the most contentious of the proposed changes was the introduction of a wild card element in the tournaments. This new feature would allow previously eliminated contestants a chance to return for a second shot at the grand prize. While Jennings saw this as a way to inject excitement and unpredictability into the game, many fans felt it could diminish the competitive integrity that Jeopardy has always prided itself on. "I get it, it's a huge departure from what we've known," Jennings admitted. "But we also live in an era where audiences have shorter attention spans and want to see dynamic changes. This isn't about disrespecting the tradition, it's about evolving with the times." Social media erupted with mixed reactions. Some fans praised Jennings for his honesty and transparency, while others expressed their discontent with the direction the show was heading. "How can they change something that has worked for decades?" one fan tweeted. "If it isn't broke, don't fix it." However, Jennings was quick to remind his audience of the broader context. "Television is constantly evolving, and Jeopardy is no exception," he argued. "We've seen other long-running shows adapt successfully, and we believe we can do the same without sacrificing our identity." He referenced the various changes the show has undergone over the years, from the introduction of new categories to the incorporation of digital technology, which were initially met with skepticism but ultimately embraced by audiences. Bialik, who has shared hosting duties with Jennings, echoed his sentiments, emphasizing the importance of innovation. "We're excited about what's to come," she said. "But we also hear the fans' voices. Their feedback matters to us, and we want to make sure we strike a balance between tradition and evolution." In light of the controversy, Jennings also addressed the issue of fan engagement. "We want our viewers to feel like they are part of the Jeopardy family," he said. "That means listening to their concerns and incorporating their ideas whenever possible." He expressed hope that fans would embrace the upcoming changes and view them as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat to the show's legacy. As the season premiere approached, anticipation mixed with apprehension among the fan base. Many viewers were eager to see how the new elements would play out on screen.